In the modern era of football, just winning the Champions League is hard enough. Winning it twice in a row, that was pretty much considered impossible. But between 2016 and 2018, one team, led by a coach who was a complete rookie, didn't just win it twice, they won it 3 times in a row. So let's dive into the incredible story of Real Madrid's European dynasty.
It really is the question that still baffles football fans. Zinedine Zidane, an absolute legend as a player, but a complete novice in top-flight management, takes over a team that's in total disarray and leads them to glory nobody thought was possible. So how on earth did he do it?
To really understand the miracle, you first have to understand the mess. See, before Zidane took charge, Real Madrid wasn't just struggling. They were in a full-blown crisis, basically watching their biggest rivals celebrate at their expense.
And the contrast here is just, wow. The 2014-15 season was a complete disaster for Madrid. 0 trophies. At the exact same time, their eternal rivals, Barcelona, led by that terrifying trio of Messi, Suarez, and Neymar, they won the treble. For a club like Real Madrid, where winning is everything, this was the ultimate humiliation.
So after burning through a couple of managers pretty quickly, the club's president decided to roll the dice in January 2016. He appointed Zinedine Zidane, who was just the coach of the reserve team. The football world pretty much reacted with pure skepticism. A legend as a player, of course. But could he really manage at the highest level? It was a massive, season-defining gamble.
Zidane didn't exactly have time to settle in. He was thrown right into the fire mid-season and was expected to deliver results immediately. What happened next? Well, it was the start of something legendary.
One of Zidane's first and probably most brilliant moves was a tactical one. He looked at his team of superstars and saw they had no balance. By putting the tough-tackling Casemiro in midfield, he created this defensive shield that just unleashed creative geniuses like Kroos and Modric to run the game. Seriously, this one change transformed the entire team.
But it wasn't all smooth sailing. Not at all. In the Champions League quarterfinals, they were stunned, losing 2-0 away to Wolfsburg in the first leg. The media completely wrote them off. It looked like the rookie manager's dream run was about to come to a crashing halt.
But in moments of crisis, the biggest players just step up. In that second leg at home, Cristiano Ronaldo delivered one of the all-time great comeback performances. He scored 3 times, single-handedly dragging his team back from the brink and into the semifinals. Just incredible.
After just scraping past Manchester City, they had to face their city rivals, Atletico Madrid, in the final. And it was a brutal, nerve-shredding game. The captain, Sergio Ramos, a man for the biggest moments, gave them an early lead. But Atletico fought back, even after missing a penalty. A late equalizer sent the whole thing to a penalty shootout. And who else but Cristiano Ronaldo would step up to bury the winning kick? Against all odds, the rookie coach had won the Champions League.
But that was just the appetizer. The challenge for his first full season was even bigger. No team in the modern Champions League era had ever successfully defended the title. The critics all said that first win was just luck. Well, Zidane and his team were about to prove them all wrong.
This team didn't just win. They absolutely dominated. They went on this incredible 40-match unbeaten streak, which was a new Spanish record. This wasn't a fluke. This team was a juggernaut. And the secret? It was Zidane's masterful man management. He convinced a whole squad of superstars to buy into his rotation policy, and it kept every single player fresh, motivated, and hungry.
And so they did what everyone thought was impossible. They won their first La Liga title in 5 years, and then they marched right back to another Champions League final, this time against the defensive masters, Juventus. And the result? A stunning 4-1 demolition. They weren't just champions anymore, they were the undisputed kings of Europe.
And right at the very tip of the spear, one man was just on another planet. In the biggest games, we're talking the quarterfinals, semifinals, and the final, Cristiano Ronaldo scored an unbelievable 10 goals. Fueled by that completely dominant Modric, Kroos, Casemiro midfield, he was simply unstoppable.
So they'd done the impossible twice. A third time in a row? Surely that was out of the question. I mean, the team was getting older, rivals were getting stronger, and their form in the league was pretty shaky. The quest for the Threepeat was going to be their hardest journey yet.
Just look at their path to the final. It was an absolute gauntlet of champions. They had to beat the champions of France, then the champions of Italy, then the champions of Germany,
just to earn the right to play a red-hot Liverpool team in the final. It was the most difficult run you could possibly imagine.
And during that run, in the quarterfinal against Juventus in Italy, Cristiano Ronaldo scored what might be the greatest goal in Champions League history, an overhead bicycle kick of such perfection that the opposing Juventus fans actually got on their feet and gave him a standing ovation. It was a moment that just transcended rivalry.
The final itself was pure chaos. Liverpool's star player, Mo Salah, went off injured. A bizarre goalkeeping mistake gifted Madrid the lead. Liverpool fought back to equalize, and then Zidane, the calm eye in the storm, makes a game-changing substitution. He brings on Gareth Bale, who just minutes later scores a bicycle kick that was arguably even better than Ronaldo's. Then he added another to seal the 3-1 victory.
3 consecutive Champions League titles. It's an achievement that may never, ever be repeated. They were on top of the world. And then, just as quickly as it all began, the dynasty came to this shocking, abrupt end. The data really tells the story here. 3 seasons, 3 finals, 3 different European giants. It was just this perfect storm of Zidane's calm leadership, the spine of the team stepping up in the big moments, and of course, the unmatched finishing of a generational talent.
And then, the bombshell. Right in the middle of the celebrations, both Ronaldo and Bale hinted they might leave. Soon after, Ronaldo's move to Juventus was official. But the biggest shock was still to come. Zinedine Zidane, the architect of it all, announced he was resigning. He had reached the summit and just decided to walk away.
I mean, think about it. He took over a team in crisis, and in just 2.5 years, won the Champions League 3 times. Nobody had ever done that before. And then he just walked away at the absolute peak. It was an unprecedented, almost unbelievable period of dominance. Which leaves us with one final question to ponder. Was this the single greatest managerial achievement in the history of the sport?